I also, instead of using Safari, I'm using Chrome on these. We'll see if that helps.
Okay.
Oh, what's the other thing I need to ask you about? Is the talk offline.
Okay.
Talk offline.
Okay. Okay.
About the naked stuff, you know. Okay, why isn't that refresh? Ah, there it is. Let's see.
You said you saw an Energizer?
Yeah, if you go down to customers also looked at. Customers who bought this also bought. But it's only got 40 ratings and it's $2.99.
Oh, I see it.
I see it. You like it.
What do you pay for that business? Oh, that's right. There was something I couldn't do anymore. If I switched to the business, I tried it before, and I think I lost Prime Videos.
Oh, what? No, we had Prime Video.
I lost something when I switched to it.
You
before
lost your
and had to
mind, is
switch
what
back.
you lost.
That's not true.
Leprechaun. Hey, Sarah and Debbie and Lisa, Patrick, Ginger.
Oh yeah, we're on Facebook this morning. We couldn't be on Facebook last night because
it was down.
it was still down.
Oh my God!
The API connections were still down.
How did anyone survive?
That's a damn good point, actually.
Seriously, how the hell did anyone survive yesterday? Get their eye get get their ass. Oh. You know, it'd be fun is to go to the airport and Rusty Lugnuts is up and sober. That's weird. Go to the airport and when TSA, you know, thank you, sir, thank you, whatever, just go ballistic on them for not using your right pronoun. I am a they. You will have a good day. They. I will say it. Have a good day. They.
Oh,
Them.
that's nuts.
You want to get that deep, I guess. Where is it? Oh. Cat turd. Breaking.
All right, let's try it. See if
Okay, let's see if this thing works.
9 p.m. Eastern, Mojo 50.
Mojo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. Adjust your mojo now. Thank you. The mothership has landed. Brad Staggs. Almighty Mojo 50.
Did you see the breaking news from Cat Turd?
no.
It was pretty funny. Getting kicked in the nuts by a pack mule now has a higher approval rating than Joe Biden. And I think he's right. I think he's right. First of all, my apologies for not letting everyone know yesterday that we would not be here. I blame it on Ron, and it's entirely Ron's fault.
And Ron takes it because that's just what my job is.
You'll take it. You'll take it like a champion. And you'll like it, too. We start with some sad news.
No, Mama. There's no hope for him now, Travis. He's suffering. You know we've got to do it.
Gotta do it.
I know, Mama. He was my dog.
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
He's my dog. Remember that scene from Old Yeller?
Old Yeller.
Old Yeller. Tommy Kirk, the kid who uttered those words, was found dead at his Las Vegas home last week.
That blows.
boy,
Was it
sad.
COVID?
They don't know. He was 79 years old. I'd say it was time that probably did him in. A neighbor found his body last week at his home in Vegas. No foul play was expected at the time of discovery. No word on whether or not the neighbor walked in and said, he's my neighbor. I'll do it. See, he could have done that, but he didn't. He was also in, let's see, what else? He was the Shaggy Dog. He was in the Swiss Family Robinson. He was in the Misadventures of Merlin Jones. And he got fired from Disney because he was gay. You know that?
I did not know that. How long ago was that?
He said...
that was before you couldn't fire somebody for being gay, apparently.
Apparently so. He said Kentucky native reportedly fired from Disney when he was 21 after allegations of homo-type sexuality hit the news. He said when he was 17 or 18, he finally admitted to himself he wasn't going to change. He said this during a 1993 interview for Film Max. He said, I didn't know what the consequences would be, but I had the definite feeling it was going to wreck my Disney career and maybe my whole acting career. It was all going to come to an end. See, he was just born at the wrong time. Now, we'd all be celebrating. I mean, look at Demi Lovato. She's a hot mess. She's a big star. Eventually, I became involved with somebody. I was fired. He was, however, given the honor of being a Disney legend back in 2006. But by then, he said, I was finny with movies. So just in case you're wondering why you hadn't seen Travis Kirk in a while, he's no longer 6 feet above ground. All right, so what do you want to do today? Anything exciting? I mean,
oh, man.
I think we need to probably do some meditation just to talk about surviving yesterday.
Kick it.
We did. How many hours did we do without Facebook and WhatsApp and Instagram?
I don't know, dude. Did anybody else lose their freaking mind yesterday?
Oh,
not
man.
being able to get on Facebook?
I was in the shower rocking back and forth.
Because I know I did not lose my mind because I couldn't get on Facebook.
I didn't even know it was down. I saw some tweet about it.
It wasn't until I got ready to prep for the other show last night that I realized, oh, wait, well, I guess.
You mean you and your little friend Rocky?
Yeah, we did.
Aww.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to see that. When that happens, if it interrupts your playtime with your little friend, that's when it bothers me. I just don't want to see, because you look so happy when you're doing that, and I don't want to. I don't want to see you be sad.
I guess.
Which hold up your little thingy, not that little thingy, the other little thingy, because we need to get the bids up on this for his. And what do you?
We're raffling it off. So
you
for
can buy
everybody,
meth or what?
No, but it's a 4-layer wooden I want to believe sign.
It's very cool looking.
Yeah, it is cool. Thank you. We made it at Romika Designs. We're raffling it off. For every $1 donated, you get a chance to win. And you can go to abnormalrealities.com/donate or just support us in the top menu bar.
And what is it you're doing with all the money? I mean, seriously, a sex change?
No, we're using it. No, we're using it for hardware and electronics and stuff for the show and other stuff that we need. So
like ghost hunting equipment?
Yep, absolutely.
See, that's kind of cool. So go to where do they go to?
Abnormalrealities.com.
That's
it's more information about this sign is right on the front page.
But there you have it. So get that today. Make sure that because I mean seriously, we got to get the bidding up there. Otherwise, it'll just be embarrassing. We've got to get the bidding up there into the triple, quadruple digits. Yesterday was also a big day because Facebook.com was for sale. If you went to Who Is?
No, well, that's probably what the problem was. Facebook.com was for sale. How does that happen?
It was only $6.8 billion, and you could stretch that over 36 months. It's I mean, who can pay that all at once?
I don't know. That's like $400 million a month.
Easy payments. That's actually what Zuckerberg lost yesterday in stock. $6.8 billion, somewhere in that neighborhood.
What?
Yeah, that's how much the outage cost Zuckerberg. I mean, we're all very sorry, but he's still worth like one.
Man.
Yeah, but don't let it. Don't feel too sorry for him. He's still worth like 141 billion. So it was just like he'd be pocket change. But there's something going on here. Something ain't quite right. Something ain't right. This whistleblower who did an interview on 60 Minutes. Was that last night or the night before? That was the night before, wasn't it?
Night before, yeah.
60 Minutes on Sunday night still. Which explains why I don't watch it. So the whistleblower comes forward talking about which is all stuff that nothing that we didn't know, right?
Correct.
Especially if you watch The Social Dilemma, the documentary on social media, it explained how they can target you with whatever. And what was the essence of her whole interview was what? That that they're not censoring enough. Wasn't that it? That they still shared things from QAnon, and you still got all this stuff in your social media feed, fueling conspiracy
theories. And that they were afraid if they censored too much, then they would lose a certain number of people, and that's what they were basing their decision to continue to do it on.
When are they just going to admit they're a news site?
They are.
It's not a share. It's a news site.
It's a news site like any other site, like any other news platform would be. So people share the information.
Whatever happened to just nice pictures of your family picnic?
Or your high school reunions or whatever.
Or your puppy.
Jeez.
Why? Why does everything just went to shit in politics? Kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But that's what the essence of her interview, from what I understand, is that they didn't do enough to censor the bad stuff. So I'm not really. Jack Posobiec yesterday tweeted out, and I think I retweeted and said, that's the one where I said I wish I was smarter, because it was like, wait, what's going on? So there was a whistleblower, wasn't a whistleblower, and she what? And so, essentially it was. Yeah, here it is. Jack Posobiec's tweet yesterday. Only midwits are falling for the fake Facebook whistleblower. So, of course, Scott Pelley is leading the charge.
I'm sorry, midwits.
Midwit. Is that like a nitwit? But
nitwit, maybe.
Sort of. So this was, the... Do you really think that there was a story here, or do you think that this was planted?
Well, I think the bigger question is, do you think that the outage had anything to do with the story?
Thank you. Because the way that this whole thing worked was the reason it went down is the reason it all went down is because some of the core framework files for the website were disappeared, and you can't even get to those files unless you are on the inside. Correct? It's not like it would be like what happened to us on Friday. You can't even get to the files that were causing me to sound like I was talking through Swiss cheese,
right?
Unless you were here inside, the motel, which is where Ron was, and so that's why we have come to the conclusion it was all Ron's fault.
Correct.
But the same way with Facebook.
It would be my fault, no matter if it was Brad.
Now you're catching on. But you couldn't get to these, whatever the files were, unless you actually had access to the back end of Facebook. Right? Is that what you understand?
Yeah, actually.
You really don't know, do you? You have no idea. You have no idea. It's the DNSA and the AAA records for Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp.
Right. So what happens is nobody... If the DNS server goes down now, about a month and a half ago, this happened at Google. Google's DNS servers went down, and it shut down half the country or half the globe. But what happens is your it's called a network address, right? So when you go to Facebook.com, it translates it to an IP address, which is all numbers, and that translation computer is what went offline. Therefore, when you go Facebook.com, it doesn't know where to go. But
no
you know
idea.
that it wasn't worldwide. It was just in certain areas.
Was across the United States, though, right?
Not completely, because some people in California were able to still hit it.
Those bastards. They could still share pictures of their food?
Yep.
Damn it. See, Down Detector reported, the timing is conspicuous. Zero Hedge says they're experiencing, this was yesterday, experiencing issues and outages worldwide. The outage comes just before a Facebook whistleblower is set to testify before Congress on Tuesday. Wait a minute, so there's going to be a whistleblower today testifying before Congress? What the hell are they going to say? And by the way, who gives a crap? What's going to happen? The whistleblower gets in front of Congress. How many times have we seen all of these social media companies testify before Congress? And what happens? Senators and Congress people get up and bad. Are you saying? And these are people who have no idea what the hell a Facebook even is. These old white dudes. And then you got that dude who thinks that the whole interweb is going to capsize, tip over because too many people. And then they're gonna chastise the people who are testifying, and then nothing happens. Just like every previous time that anything has ever been testified to on Capitol Hill about social media.
Yeah.
It's a giant theatrical, I don't even want to say show, because shows generally are decent. Except for this one. So, so the whistleblowers on 60 Minutes Sunday, they're going to be, apparently the same person is going to be today on Capitol Hill and testifying that they, again, didn't censor enough information and they should censor more. That's the part that is just amazing to me. Disclosed TV yesterday tweeted, Facebook employees reportedly can't enter buildings to evaluate the internet outage because their door access badges weren't working, according to the New York Times. According to the Epic Times, the outage was universal, comes on the tail of the whistleblower's complaint, blah, blah, blah. Comes as two members of the European Parliament called for an investigation into allegations by a whistleblower that Facebook prioritized profits above the public good. Is that even a question? I mean, seriously. The whistleblower, Frances Haugen, who I think may have been a man at one time.
Really?
Did you see pictures of her?
I've seen pictures of her. I didn't think that, but okay.
You didn't?
No.
All right. Maybe it's just me. Frances, who had worked as a product manager on the civic misinformation team at Facebook, shared internal documents with newspapers and attorneys general from several U.S. states. Haugen will testify in front of the Senate to say, okay, today's the 5th, right?
Today is the 5th.
So it's the 6th.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they kept saying, that the outage happened 2 days before she was supposed to testify.
Okay, but all right. So I think we may be we've fallen into a glitch in the matrix, because so far I've seen several instances where they've said today is the 6th and it's Tuesday, but tomorrow's the 6th and it'll be Wednesday.
Where have you seen instances of that already today?
On my computer.
Okay.
The Facebook files and the revelations that the whistleblower has presented to us underscore just how important it is that we do not let the large tech companies regulate themselves, said Danish lawmaker Christel Schnauzermoos. We'll just call her Crystal. The documents finally put all the facts on the table to allow us to adopt a stronger Digital Services Act. Aha! Aha! This is about regulations, isn't it? This is about internet. What do they call it? Is it net neutrality? I don't even know what the hell that means anymore. But it's internet. All those commercials you see on TV for, the internet has been around for 20 years, and that's also the last time that they created any regulations for it. There are those, and then it says, we support internet regulation, Facebook.com. And I'm thinking, okay, if you at Facebook support these internet regulate, I don't. Whatever you're for, I'm against. Do you know the commercials I'm talking about? For internet regulation.
No.
I don't. Do you want Congress regulating the internet?
No.
I don't want their fingers, their fat, chubby, little, nasty, stinky fingers anywhere near my interwebs. Because everything they touch turns to shit. They have the fecal touch, even worse than I do. But that's what this is all about. You can't tell me that this is, do I seem like the suspicious type to you now?
Yes.
I don't believe anything anymore. I really don't. So the documents finally put all the facts on the table to allow us to adopt a stronger Digital Services Act. This, according to Alexandra Geese, a German lawmaker at the European Parliament, said we need to regulate the whole system and the business model that favors disinformation and violence over factual content and enables its rapid dissemination. A Facebook spokesperson issued a response to the claim, saying the firm has to make some difficult decisions. Every day we make difficult decisions on where to draw the lines between free expression and harmful speech, privacy, security, and other issues, the anonymous spokesperson said. But we should not be making these decisions on our own. We have been advocating for what'd I tell you? We have been advocating for updated regulations where democratic governments set industry standards to which we can all adhere. This is about internet regulations. That's what this is. This was a dramatic piece of theater.
Well done, I might add.
Yes, it was. Quite well. That's what this is. This is about their trying to impose, and I don't even know what the hell kind of regulations they would impose on the interwebs. Do you?
No. No.
Which is it? Yes or no?
No, I don't. And I don't know how they would do that. I mean, look, you got China.
They'll find a way.
You got China out there in Russia, too, I think, not allowing certain things into the country. Mm-hmm. But I don't know that they're monitoring it inside the country. They may be.
This is nothing but a ruse to slide their sneaky little fingers right into your access portals. That's what this.
Get your bony finger
out of my
access
yeah, exactly. That costs extra, pal, and don't you forget it. You don't get anywhere near my access portal for less than $20. But that's what this is all about. This is going to be a grand scheme. Now, I don't know whether the outage was coincidental, whether it had anything to do with the whistleblower. I have no idea. But this is all. This is a play to get this legislation, whatever it is, enacted. This internet neutrality or net neutrality, whatever the hell it is. And the end result will be it'll cost you money. I mean, that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what they implement. Doesn't matter what regulations go into place. It's going to cost you money. That's the bottom line. And it'll be some nonsense, horse crap, stupid rules that don't do anything. But in the end, it'll be like on your phone bill.
Yep.
Remember all the stupid charges you get on your landline, like the 911 access fee, and then
that's when you go out and buy a mobile phone or a cell phone,
right?
And you think, oh, hell, I can afford that,
right?
And then you get your monthly bill, and it's like twice what you thought you could afford because of all the fees.
All the stupid fees.
What the hell?
Like the fee for touch tone service. There's that. It was like, what? What? You're charging me for touch tone service? They find a way to hose you any way they possibly can. So that's what it is. Stinky Biscuit, the author for the Facebook policies, was an 18th century British ponce. What's a ponce?
Whatever you sounded like a while ago.
Okay, good. That's what I kind of thought. Go ahead and unmute me now. Okay. So, yes, exactly. That's exactly what it was. And Squatching Duck, did that accent go Scottish at the end? It might have. Oh, there's a wee lassie. I'm giving her all I can, but she's going to blow.
All I've got.
You think Squatching Duck is still licking his wounds?
Wow.
Big Pharma Steve. So what I'm hearing is Facebook got boogered because someone said they needed to do more for the greater good. Sounds like a cleanup job to me. Make sure They stop the leaks and ensure that nobody ever will again. Something's going on. This stuff just doesn't just happen like this, and then all of a sudden you start having the hearings on Capitol Hill when these TV spots for internet regulation sponsored by Facebook have been all over the TV, like on Hulu. When you're watching Hulu, that's where you find them most often, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, this is not good. Whatever this is, if Facebook is behind it, it's not good. This is all a coordinated effort. This reminds me back in the day of, this is back in L.A. in the early 80s, and Rick Dees had just gone to Kiss FM, and it was, he was on the air one morning, and they then at, I don't know, on 6 to 10 or 5 to 10, whatever it was, and then at like 8:30, he's gone, and it's another guy, Bruce Vidal, filling in for him. It's like, what happened to Rick? And then all of a sudden, these commercials were on TV. Oh, Kiss FM apologizes for what Rick Dees said this morning. We're very sorry, blah, 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 blah. Yeah,
what did he actually say?
Okay, see? What?
Nobody knows. Nobody
He didn't
gave a damn.
say anything. It was something about Princess Diana. But the bottom line is you can't have television commercials on the same damn day. They had bought that time weeks in advance.
Weeks in advance,
Yeah, it was all, and at that time I was, dumb. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, what did he say? But it worked to get everybody to, listen to Kiss FM the next morning.
I guess.
So the same thing. This is way too orchestrated and way too convenient to not be related in some way, shape, or form. So be ready to bend over and grab your ankles, because if there's one thing Congress does well, it's finding a way to slide their fat little fingers into your access portal.
There you go.
And extract your wallet and money from it. So that's what this whole stupid thing is about. The whole damn thing. Keep your hand on your wallet. Use the hashtag What I Learned Today if you would like to participate in some of the last freedom of speech efforts here on the interwebs. Because we don't censor your speech, do we?
Nope.
We're still not censoring
nope.
anybody, right? Except that one guy, because he's just a jerk. But you can tag us in at Real Brad Staggs, Real Ron Phillips. Oh, yeah, we'll get into this in a second. Oblivion Flickering says, Fyodor Fauci says, don't just give up your individual rights. Be a double plus good citizen and do it with a smile for the greater good of society. You know what's really weird is the whole Fauci thing. You pretty much can take what he said last year, and he's saying the same thing this year.
Yep.
You can just take a recording of him saying it first time and replay it this year. It's damn near verbatim. Is anybody listening to that asshat anymore?
I hope not.
We'll see you in just a second.
Happily promoting the 4Fs.
Clear.
They're making smoothies down in the Dirty Turtle,
I hear it.
and it's good. Hey, you getting into that new Ivermectin drug?
The Ivermectin?
That was so good. There's nothing to do with ivermectin. This is a new Ivermectin.
Ivermectin.
Where is this toadstool? Where is this toadstool? Aha. Now. You know what? I'll bet it's not listed anywhere either. What do you want to bet?
My TV randomly turned on and went to the page to download.
What?
My daughter texted me. I was just sitting here on my phone and my remote on my remote on my nightstand, and my TV just randomly turned on and went to the page to download iHeartRadio.
That's weird.
I'm using that for show fodder.
That's really weird. All right. Is that me? No, that's not me. Where am I? What did I do with it? What the hell? Oh, it's that one. There it is.
Been sweating ever since.
Assume the position.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah, I did.
I can't do this. Oh.
The rants of Izzo.
Okay.
Tonight at 7.
Ah!
The Daily Mojo.
Did I hear Wilson talking about this prior to the Daily Mojo? This morning, the, what was her name? Lauren Hubbard, the transgender weightlifter, being named the Sportswoman of the Year.
Yeah, I had read that somewhere.
I don't, it's the University of Otago, which, if you have not studied their, if you really want to get into internet regulations, I think the University of Otago has probably the best lineup of courses on internet regulation, bar none. But Laurel Hubbard is now New Zealand's Sportswoman of the Year. She is the first transgender athlete to win the award in its 113-year history. The 43-year-old also became the first openly transgender competitor at the Olympic Games following her appearance in Tokyo this summer. Remember that, too, her case will be used as the... What? They don't have an advantage. What? She lost. I hate being right.
He's like, what?
What? I know what they don't have an advantage. Look, I mean, just look at her. She lost. You can't tell me they have an advantage. If they had an advantage, she would have won. But somehow she's the sportswoman of the year. Why? She lost. Why is she the sportsperson of the year?
Because she's a dude. Used to be. She's a used to be dude.
Used to be's don't count anymore. They just lay on the floor till we sweep them away. Remember that. Name the song. You don't know.
I don't know.
Absolutely no idea.
No idea.
Now, I wanted to, because the following article was sent to both you and moi. And when I started reading it, I was like, whoa.
Where did we get it? Where did it come into?
I think Bethy Knott said it.
Oh, let me look.
You didn't?
I don't guess I did.
It's the title. It's at synoviastore.com. The title is the best face mask for air travel in 2021.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Did you read it?
No, I did not.
This is bizarre. Listen to this word. Listen to this verbiage in this ad.
I did look at the pictures though.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. It's so, to me, it's just dystopian as hell, which requires that I read it in a dystopian voice.
Okay, hit it.
If the COVID-19 pandemic has taught us anything, is that there are no borders to this world we share. For the first time since the pandemic started, we are seeing a sense of normalcy slowly but surely return to our lives as the world starts to regain control over the virus. With a vaccine in the arm and a passport in hand, we are so ready to fly away to a much-deserved vacation in an exciting travel destination far away from the four walls that held us in for most of 2020. But with the many risks and challenges of the passenger cabin, what do we need to protect ourselves in flight? Read on to find out. Sifting through loads of travel advice from well-meaning friends and family can get confusing, but following the recommended safe practices can make things much easier. Masks worn over your nose and mouth are required on all forms of public transportation, including aeroplanes, as per the CDC's guidelines. Contrary to other types of public transportation that take up less of your time, the lengthy duration of air travel may prompt you to contemplate what type of mask would offer you the least amount of hassle and the highest comfort level throughout your entire journey. They're actually writing stuff like this now. You got your vaccine.
They paid somebody to write
They
this
paid
shit.
somebody, and it's just, If this is, I mean, seriously, I'm like Meredith Brooks. I hate the world today. I really do. It is just, we can't let this stuff be normalized. They have pointers and advice for you to consider when selecting the best face mask for travel. You want the best face mask for travel? FakeMaskUSA2.com. They had to get a new website because if you went to their first one was FakeMaskUSA.com, and when you get these masks, it is a, I don't know, what's the material? Have you seen them? Have you actually
call
held
it
one?
it's a 100% compliant, but it's cheesecloth.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I happen to know people who have these.
Yes. I've breathed through one, and it's easy to breathe through it.
It is, it's cheesecloth, but when you're wearing it, you can't tell that's what it is.
Right. You can't see through it unless you're taking a flash picture, and then you can see through it. Kind of like those slinky black dresses that some women wear at premieres. You know,
Yeah.
whoa, let me get a flash picture of that. But it's like not wearing a mask. I mean, you can still, it's still annoying like wearing a mask, but it's not like wearing a mask which causes you not to be able to breathe. You can breathe right through these things because there's nothing there. So the host services provider of their first website kicked them off because they were selling these. It's like the nanny state is everywhere. So whoever their host provider was, they had to make a new website called Fake Mask USA 2, and they're great. I mean, if you're going to be forced to wear a stupid mask, this is the one to wear. And they're not that. Are you on the site?
Which one? The fake mask
Fake
one?
Mask 2?
I was, but let me
Or
see.
they're not that expensive, right? They're like $10.
Let's see. View all product. Yeah, $11.99,
All right.
$9.99.
So if you're going to get one, that's the one to get because it doesn't impede your breathing. But that's the bottom. We've gotten to the point now where these are common items you're going to see from here on out, unless we do something about this. Unless we do something about what we're like flies in flypaper right now with this whole COVID thing. Dan Bongino, who did a brilliant piece last week on digital currency, I think I mentioned that, but he was talking yesterday about it may be time for a national divorce. Now, I've been saying this for a while, but the problem is, how do you if we're going to get divorced from the people who want to be controlled from cradle to grave by government, and those of us who would prefer the original vision of the United States of America as being a land of the free and home of the brave, and stay out of my crap and I'll stay out of yours. Personal responsibility, freedom, etc. Maybe it is time for that national divorce. Now, I don't know how that. I don't know the details and how do you do it in a practical sense, but that's what we need to do. It's like in The Man in the High Castle. We give them the East or the West Coast, and we take, maybe you divide it into the thirds. So you got the heartland, you got the East Coast, West Coast. One of us gets a coast, the other side gets a coast, and then maybe the middle of the country is the neutral zone. But it's coming to that. I mean, and
they call that the DMZ, Brad.
There you go. That would work. But it is clear that these people are not going to relent. They're not ever going to see things from a sane perspective. It's just not going to happen. They hate you, they hate me. And I don't, it's like the Hooper. It's like hoopla. She hates me. She doesn't want to.
You're a bad person.
I am a bad person. You've been very bad. Very bad. And she asked why I like Star Trek, and I've explained this before. I like Star Trek because everybody gets along. I'd love it if everybody could get along. Wouldn't it be great if we all got along?
If everybody got along and we abolished, racism and all that other mess and just
Wouldn't it be nice?
We just got along.
Just get
Well,
along.
it'd be nice, but it's
Not going to happen because there's always going to be asshats out there. There are always going to be asshats out there who want to control what you do, how you do it, who you do it with, when you do it, why you do it, how much you're going to spend doing it. It's all about control. They just can't help themselves. They want to control
And
everything.
if you want to see the true definition of asshat, go out and look at the comments to DeSantis announcing his wife's cancer.
Horrid.
Those people should be shot and buried.
Might be a bit extreme, but I can see why you. Yes, I'm with you. But it's just, and those are the people. Those are the tolerant, loving, inclusive people on the left. They're never going to want to give up the control that they love to exert. They can't stand that any of us would be out there having a good time. And their patron saint, Anthony Fauci, the good Dr. Anthony Fauci, who is out there now already warning us about Thanksgiving and Christmas. By the way, get this, according to the CDC, 75.7% of Americans over the age of 12 have received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. 75%. That's pretty amazing when you think about it. The agency's conservative estimate is that 100 million Americans have had COVID-19 and recovered. However, Margaret Brennan, she's the host of CBS This Morning or Face the Nation, whatever it is. She, of course, quoted when she was interviewing Fauci, the 700,000 people dead. And I still question that because we don't know if it's of or with. Even if you take it as them dying of COVID, that's 0.21% of the population. 0.21%. I mean, and again, it sucks if you're in there or you have a family member in there, but yeah, it's 0.21. The Spanish flu killed about 0.65% of the population. So we're nowhere near that. So Fauci's on the Face the Nation program. They're talking about, all the bad stuff coming up in the next couple of months because you don't want to be out there. You don't want to be out there, having fun with family and friends on Christmas or Thanksgiving. That is not the American way.
The pandemic and Dr. Anthony Fauci, the president's chief medical advisor. Good morning to you, Dr. Fauci.
Morning.
Good morning.
700,000 American dead. This is now the worst pandemic the country has ever experienced. Are we close to over, or do we need to brace for another wave?
Oh, let me just tell you. It's going to be another wave. It's going to be waves. It's like the North Shore in Hawaii. It's going to be coming in waves so big you won't even be able to see the buildings. I'll let him say it.
Well, one of the things we want to make sure is that we have had over the last few weeks a turning around of the acceleration of this, starting to come down in cases and hospitalizations and soon deaths.
What does that mean? We've had a turning around of that was not what
I think he was trying to be positive, but I'm not sure.
Right, exactly.
The one thing that we don't want to do is that we don't want to become complacent and say, okay, now we need to pull back. We don't need any more people to get vaccinated. We need to continue to get those individuals, now 70 million people who are eligible to be vaccinated, because if you look at the history, Margaret, of the different surges we've had, it's come up, start to come down, and then all of a sudden, boom, come back up again.
Yeah. Up, down, boom, back up again. Now, that was just this weekend. Let's go back in time, shall we? To October 14th, the year of our Lord 2020. This was Dr. Anthony Fauci on the CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell, the hotter O'Donnell. Kelly O'Donnell, not so much. Nora, hubba. Here is Dr. Anthony Fauci with Nora.
We spoke with Dr. Anthony Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, about the nationwide spike in cases and where the country goes from here in the fight against COVID.
We were in a difficult place to begin with, Nora. As you know, what we're seeing unfortunately, is upticks in case positivities, test positivities. That's going to translate, as it already is, into additional hospitalizations, which ultimately are going to translate into additional deaths. And now we're starting to see, as you said correctly, an uptick in cases, in 37 states. I mean, that is a substantial proportion of the United States of America.
Let me ask you about these large-scale events. 10,000 people will reportedly attend President Trump's rally tonight in an airport hangar in Des Moines, Iowa. Do you consider that type of event dangerous?
When people are close to each other and you don't have virtually everyone wearing a mask, that is a risky situation.
A risky situation. It was all about the Trump. It was 10,000 attending a Trump rally, and whoa, Nelly. She gets on to asking about Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Vaccines that would be available. But when you say, is it available of a vaccine that is proven to be safe and effective, it's not going to be 100 million doses.
Yeah.
So what is your advice about Thanksgiving?
I think people should be very careful and prudent. But when you're talking about relatives that are getting on a plane, being exposed in an airport, being exposed in a plane, then walk in the door and say, Happy Thanksgiving, that you have to be careful about.
Right. It's going to be that. He's going to, might as well copy that and say it next year and the year after that and the year after that. Because we're never, ever, ever, ever going to get back to quote unquote normal with these people. Nope. Ever. So if they want to live in their little panic porn world, let's give it to them. I'm willing to give up. What states do we give up? North Dakota?
Oregon.
Oh, Oregon. Okay.
Yeah.
Oregon, Washington.
Maybe Washington, yeah.
State. There are a couple places
in all those left coast states. Can we just give those away?
All right. So Oregon, Washington State.
California.
But California's got some really nice beaches.
It does, but
can we give them inland California? Like San Bernardino. Like Riverside, San Bernardino, that area.
Yeah, but then they got to give us an easement and dam. Because how do we get to the coast if we don't go through there, man?
We have all the guns.
We just build a bridge. Let's build a bridge.
Okay, we can bridge right over San Bernardino County and Riverside County. They can have all that. They can have even Orange County because they can have Disneyland. We'll take Disney World. And we get the beaches. We get the coast of California. And then I'd like to keep Arizona. Like to keep New Mexico.
Okay.
I think we should keep Colorado. Or at least part of it, the Rocky Mountains.
I like Colorado.
I do too.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep parts of Colorado, Utah. Let's just give it to the Mormons.
Give it to them.
Give it to the Mormons. Let's see here, Wyoming.
I've never been there, but I hear it's pretty.
I've been to Wyoming.
We can give them
beautiful.
North Dakota, but I'd like to keep South Dakota.
All right, we keep South Dakota. I like Wyoming.
Wyoming's good. Montana, they can have Montana.
I'm with you. Yes. I will. Yes, I'm willing to give up Montana. They can also have.
We're gonna get all these text messages.
Michigan.
All these tweets. What the hell are you guys doing?
Michigan. They can have Michigan. I think we keep Illinois. Now, give them Illinois. Give them Michigan. Delaware. They can have Delaware.
Stinky Biscuit says we need a West Coast shipping port of some sort, Ron.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And beaches. I'm telling you, the beaches in California are gorgeous. So I'm just, I'm trying. It can't be all about work. We're going to have some R&R at the same time. I said, now some mook from Jersey. What's with the impersonations this morning? To eat your Wheaties or not? Mook from Jersey? Are you saying Anthony Fauci's a mook from Jersey? Yeah, right. See, we need a West Coast. Yeah, we do need that West Coast shipping port. All right, so I think that's what we do. I think that we're just going to have to start the negotiations now on who gets what. These are the preliminary proceedings to the divorce. This saves us from having to do it, with violence. Because none of us want violence. It hurts. Getting hit hurts. Hitting hurts. I don't want to get hurt. I fell yesterday.
You did?
I did. I was pulling a bush out.
Did you click the button on your life alert?
Oh, I did.
I know you did.
Hello,
Mr. Staggs. How can we help you? I've fallen.
I've fallen and I can't get up. I was yanking the bush.
Damn it. I hate it when you yank the bush and you fall over.
Mm-hmm. Talk about embarrassing. And it was right there in the front yard, too. That was the worst part.
Did you tie your truck to it?
No. I was had a little come along.
Yanking it by hand.
I was yanking it by hand right there, and the thing gave way. And what did I do?
It slapped you right in the face.
It did. And it was like slow motion. When you're falling, you're doing that. Oh, no. And you realize you're going down. And there's nothing you can do about it. And you just kind of roll with it and go, okie dokie, here I go. And it, I came through it unscathed, but still you're like, jeez, what's that? And this sidebar here just for a second. Do you ever, when you get up in the middle of the night now, do you have to stop and get your balance? Like used to be able to
a couple of times during the year I have to do that when the vertigo kicks in.
Okay, because I just thought it was me. Because it used to be, you have to get up, pee in the middle of the night, you just pop up out of bed, and now it's like get up and go. Okay, okay. Now I'm balanced. Now I can walk. Just because you don't want to fall.
I'm being told you should have trimmed it before you.
That's what I've heard, and I mean that's what the rumor was. But I was like, no, I'm not trimming this bad boy.
No, I'm going for the whole bush.
Yeah, whole thing right there, yanking that bad boy, and that's what happens. You end up falling. So, again, I think that this may be the way we negotiate the separation. There are going to be some points of contention, but for the most part, I think that we can divide up this country and decide who gets what. It's the resources that are going to be tricky. That's going to be a bit of a problem. But again, we have the guns. We have the guns. So in the end, who has the power? I mean, I hate to be a dick about it that way, but it's, possible. You have not yet received your FJB, your hashtag FJB t-shirt. That means if you haven't gotten yours in the mail, it means you didn't order it. You see, you have to order it first at mojo50.com. Click on shop, and then apparel, t-shirts, and ta-da, there it is. It's hashtag FJB on the front, and right below that it says IYK, YK. If you know, you know.
You know.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. Mine's in the mail.
I'm looking for it right now, Brad.
You're looking for mine?
Yep. At 3:08 this morning, it arrived at the Coppell, Texas Distribution Center.
I'll have it today.
Or tomorrow.
Better have it today.
It doesn't show it's out for
bastards.
Delivery.
I'm looking forward to that. So get yours today at mojo50.com. This is probably one of the most argued about words in the English language. Before I do that, hang on a second. Where is the... did you see the whole thing about FJB, Let's Go Brandon?
No, what is the Let's Go Brandon? Was that the race car driver?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't watch the video.
It's this is NASCAR reporter Kelly Stavast, and she's talking, is it Brandon Brown? Yeah, Brandon Brown. So you tell me what they're saying in the back. By the way, language alert.
It's such an unbelievable moment.
Brandon, you also told me, as you can hear the chants from the crowd, let's go, Brandon. Brandon, you told me you were going to kind of hang back those first two stages and just watch and learn. What did you learn that helped you there in those closing laps?
Yeah, that's not Let's Go, Brandon.
No.
Let's go, Brandon.
You could almost convince yourself of that with the McGurk effect.
Yes.
You could almost, but it's...
It was learning how each line didn't stay to one.
Now, if there's any question about it, if you follow the Twitter account, is it Row Hill or The Row? I think it's just The Row. And they have put the I guess all of them together in one nice neat little place. Let's see here. There it is right there. So this, again, possible language alert here, but it's Old Row, sorry, at Old Row Viral. And they're, see, that was them. Where's this? And this is happening everywhere. This was Kentucky right here, University of Kentucky. So it's going on pretty much everywhere. So get your hashtag FJB t-shirt before it all goes away. That's, I think, the most important thing. All right. The most hated, despised word in the English language?
Biden.
Moist.
Moist?
Why do people hate the word moist?
I don't know.
People hate the word moist.
People don't like to say that.
They don't like
people
moist.
Don't like to say the C word either.
Cool.
Now that one.
Oh. So moist is it's for whatever reason it gets in people's heads. A cognitive psychologist at Oberlin College, Paul Thibodeau, conducted a series of experiments to determine exactly why so many people hate the word moist. So he had 3 hypotheses. The first was people hate the word moist because of how it sounds. Just the sound of moist. 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 The second hypothesis, people hate the word moist because of its connotations to bodily fluids.
True.
Like underarm sweat. Your underarm's
and
moist.
You just can't say that word and be sexy at the same time.
Oh, yes, you can.
Hit me, Brad.
No, I can't do it. Believe me, it can be done. And third, this is his third hypothesis, people hate the word moist because they're socialized to believe the word is disgusting. So he had, during the course of the experiment. I know, right?
No, I'm looking at Beaver's freaking tweet.
Oh, boy, what'd she say? Is the Beaver talking moist stuff? What is it? Oh, boy. Yeah, there you go. All right, so I asked, didn't I? So participants who didn't like the word moist also didn't like words like phlegm, vomit, and diarrhea. So that would be, it's connected to bodily fluids. The findings concluded that our widely shared hatred of the word moist is due to our associations with moisture and bodily fluids. But there's a huge social component to it, too. Part of our hatred of the word moist might just be because so many other people around us think it's gross, even if they are the sexiest men alive. But put moist in the context of a delicious dessert, and all of that might be forgotten. Word aversion is a big thing. Some other words that people have a strong aversion to, and there's one in here that I have a strong aversion to for whatever reason.
Okay.
You can guess which one it is. Pulp, slurp, dollop, rural, curd, panties, and ointment.
Wait, panties is your
Yes,
deal?
I do.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know why.
It sounds dainty to me.
It's just panties.
Panties.
Panties. Like, yeah.
They're like small pants. Panties.
I don't know what it is. Ointment doesn't bother me. Curd, rural. Rural is hard to say. Rural.
Horror.
Horror. Dollop, slurp, and pulp.
Dollop.
Dollop.
Dollop is not a bad word. Slurp.
Slurp. Sounds like what it is.
And pulp.
Pulp.
No.
Yeah, but
No.
panties.
Panties.
Panties. See, it's just that panties.
Well, you don't have to say it like that.
Well, that's
say
what
it manly.
You can't. Panties.
Yeah.
Hey, could you hand me my panties?
Hey, panty is over here.
I need to put my panties back on. See? How ridiculous does that sound? It just doesn't work. Kind of gross. So there you have. That's why people hate the word moist, because it sounds too much like panties.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Let's just move on. This is your Daily Mojo.
Clear. That's what my son used to call them.
Moist panties?
Pancakes. He used to call them pancakes. It was so funny. We used to laugh at him. Hangabers and pancakes.
Pancakes. Where? Oh.
Recently, activists followed cinema into a bathroom at Arizona State University.
We knocked on doors for you to get you elected, and just how we got you elected, we can get you out of office if you don't support what you promised us.
Yeah.
Approval of the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill. Consequences for peace and democracy in Asia if the island falls to communist China.
That's true. We are united in saying FJB. Give me a slurp of that dollop. Moist can be sexy. Diarrhea absolutely cannot. Wade, do not ever Google 2 girls in 1 cup. Don't do it. Do not. Don't do it. You've been warned.
Continuing to build off the Southern California coast, unable to dock at the ports of LA and Long Beach, hundreds of thousands of containers on board those vessels.
I made my
Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, 6-hour outage. Social and religious conservatives criticizing the Biden administration for giving abortion rights the green light.
I can't even read about it and not.
What?
2 girls, 1 cup.
Oh, yeah.
No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
No. No, 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 no.
Get your student loans out of default, stop any
The hell is that?
stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments
Don't
down
do
to
it.
as little
Don't
as
do it.
$5 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395.
Oh.
800-709-4395.
Oh.
800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
Man performs oral sex to stall armed robber at gas station until police arrive. Whoa.
That's thinking on your knees.
The off-track syndicate. Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Mojo 503.
This is an important reminder. Don't miss this week's exciting show. Right here, we've got some very special guests and revealing topics this weekend. So make a note, mark your calendar, text yourself. Join me here for Erskine this weekend. You'll hate yourself Monday if you miss this.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
And to be clear, the federal government will default on our loans in 13 days if the ceiling isn't raised. That could be disastrous for our economy. However, I am not convinced that it would be any more disastrous than allowing the Democrats out of control spending.
Thank you.
The national debt may be $28 trillion, but the real debt is closer to $123 trillion once you add in all of our unfunded liabilities.
That's the amazing thing.
The largest healthcare provider in New York proudly declares that they are 100% vaccinated after firing 1,400 people. This pandemic is so bad that they can fire.
I just can't wait until defecate.
Wants the FBI to treat parents who oppose critical race theory as potential terrorists. Better watch those soccer moms. Protect your liberties. Once they're gone, there is no getting them back.
If we weren't so bad,
To puppy rape. I like to cuss. Do I want to keep my penis? Cat wants some black titties.
we wouldn't be so good. Mojo 50. The mothership has landed.
Old JLB over in the FB chat room. They'd be fun to have on a farm. We talk about bodily functions the way other people talk about baseball or favorite recipes. Ever castrated a farm animal, Ron?
Why would I have ever castrated a farm animal?
I've
No,
done it.
I've
I
never
figured
done
you
so.
might have done it.
Have you?
Yes.
What?
I did a sheep once. I mean,
You
I castrated
castrated
a
a
sheep.
sheep.
Yes, I should clarify that.
Oh, you
I
did a sheep once.
I did a sheep once. I did. This is back in ag class in high school because I was on the FFA parliamentary procedure team. And apparently, to be on the parliamentary procedure
You had
team,
to castrate a
I had to
sheep.
castrate a sheep. It was. I still remember. I still remember that poor sheep just boom down. Because he's away. I don't know if I have no idea how they do it now, but then it was you grab them and you take a knife and you cut a hole in the sack, and then you take these pliers that have like
why are you explaining this to me?
Just to see if that's still the way they do it.
Okay.
And then you
don't know
you reach
the
it, you
answer to
pop
the
one, you reach in a pole, and that sheep
passes out.
Oh, he passed out
from pain.
Bad. It was bad. It was bad. It really was. It was. So I don't know if they maybe do it differently now. I would think they do it differently. It just seems it seems so barbaric to me that they would do it that way.
Wow.
And I say they, and here I am, one doing it. Which reminds me of, did you see Ted Nugent being interviewed?
I did not.
Oh.
Somebody tweeted that. Was that you?
It was, and I'm looking for it as we speak because I was in typical fashion.
There it is, 4 hours ago.
Oh, is that what? Well,
classic Ted.
Oh, why don't you play it since you have it? This is Ted being interviewed.
Hang on.
You don't have it?
No, I've got it. I do. I've got it here, but
you either have it or you don't have it.
Oh my God.
Do you have it?
I have it.
Okay, well then play it.
All right, hang on. I just got to plug everything in.
Oh, good grief! I'll find it myself. And wait a minute, where is it?
I got it. Here it is.
I found it.
Well, would you speak to the people who believe it is a worthwhile vaccine and it is saving lives? Are they just dead wrong? Are they been fed a line from the federal government?
Tim, I appreciate the opportunity to speak to the people that went ahead and got the jab. I speak their language. I would speak to them thusly. Bah, 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 bah. They understand that.
Wow.
Well, so all these
Holy
millions
crap.
of people that got the shots, they're just stupid?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And there
he
you
was
go.
pretty matter of fact. He didn't want to be in that interview. You could tell. There was no question.
Nah, he really he didn't.
So they're just stupid? Yep.
Yep. Bah, bah, bah.
That's Ted Nugent for you.
Ted, he doesn't pull any punches. Well, and you have to question whether is he right, is he wrong? Project Veritas, once again, have you seen this anywhere on the mainstream media? I don't think I've seen it at Fox. I haven't seen it at, certainly haven't seen it on CNN. 3 Pfizer scientists were recorded undercover by Project Veritas reporters. And this is their the latest installment of their COVID-19 Vaccine Exposed series. Again, I need to clarify our position. We are not anti-vax. At least I'm not. Ron may be. But I'm not anti-vax. I think that if you want to get the vaccine, get the vaccine. Totally behind you. I think that it's your body, your choice. And, and I haven't decided. Hell, I may be vaccinated already. You don't know. You have no idea. Even if I said I was, I might be lying. And even if I said I'm not, I could still be lying.
Yeah.
So you have no idea. I mean, get a vitamin B12 shot.
And that's the point. If you're going to get the shot, get the shot.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Get the damn thing. Good for you.
Get the shot.
I may have had it 4 times already.
Just do your own research. Get the vaccine. Here's the thing, Brad, and it's not so much the vaccine. Yes, there's a lot of people out there pissed off about what's in the shot, what it's doing to your body, all this other stuff. The bigger issue is the United States government trying to force it on you.
Yep.
That's the issue.
That's the problem that I have.
And whether you get the vaccine or not, who gives a damn? Really? Honestly, I don't care. But did you let the government force it on you to keep your job? Maybe you have to, right? Maybe you have to. Maybe it's your sole income. To stay in the military, maybe you have to.
And they're not, if you refuse, from what I understand in the military, they're not even giving you a dishonorable discharge. They're not giving you an honorable discharge.
No,
excuse me.
They're correct. That's correct.
So it's like, man, they are just they're bending you over 2 ways from Sunday.
So one senator proposed something, or I guess it was congressman, that said they should be giving dishonorable discharges.
Here is
a little extreme.
A bit. So here is part of the latest video from Project Veritas, undercover, speaking to Pfizer scientists about the vaccine.
Out. Deception. Propaganda. A new book by James O'Keefe. Pre-order now at American.
And first, a commercial for James O'Keefe. New book.
Inside portion of the actual virus, so your antibodies are probably better at that point than the vaccination.
Nick Carl is an experienced biochemist at Pfizer with a history of working in the pharmaceutical industry. Nick admits to our undercover journalist that those who've had COVID have stronger immunity than those who've received the Pfizer COVID vaccine.
When somebody is naturally immune, like they got COVID, they probably have better, like not better, but more antibodies against the virus.
A couple of observations here. First of all, does Pfizer hire their scientists from grade school? Does this guy look like he's like 12? He's a scientist with Pfizer. The guy's name is Nick Carl.
Yeah.
Does he not look like he's 12? Seriously. These are the people.
He's pretty young.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just really old. I don't know.
Because what the vaccine is, like I said, that protein that's just on the outside. So it's just one antibody against one specific part of the virus. When you actually get the virus, you're going to start producing antibodies against like multiple pieces of virus. And not only just like that outside portion, like the inside portion and the actual virus. So your antibodies are probably better at that point than the vaccination.
And that's a really interesting point. You hear what he said? I mean, so the vaccine just, because they centered in on those spike proteins, and it's like, well, here's the key. We center in on the spike proteins, your body fights, blah, 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 whatever. But this scientist, the scientist who works with Pfizer, makes a good point. If you get COVID, then your body produces these antibodies against different parts of the virus itself, not just the spike protein. So that would make sense, right? Body's a pretty amazing thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even more amazing than a vaccine. You think about it. So how they're going to come out and fight, boy, you do not want to be this guy, by the way, today at work.
If he even still has a job.
You did not. This guy, Nick Carl, did not have a good day when he went back to work at Pfizer at all. I doubt.
But don't take his word for it. Two other Pfizer scientists echo the same sentiment.
So I mean, well protected? Like as much as the vaccine?
Probably more.
How so? Like how much more?
You're protected most likely for longer, since it was a natural response.
We're like bred and taught to be like vaccine is safer than actually getting COVID. You cannot like talk about this like in public. If you have antibodies built up, like you should be able to prove that you have those built up.
I mean, I still feel like I work for like an evil corporation. They're trying to keep track of everyone that's been vaccinated.
Wow, this is Chris Croce.
Oh, son of a bitch. None of them have jobs right now.
He's going to have a really bad day at work. Senior associate scientist with Pfizer. I feel like I work for an evil corporation. They're trying to keep track of everyone that's been vaccinated. What did he say next?
Versus the census of how many people are actually reported. Basically, our organization is run on COVID money now.
What? On COVID money now.
Oh, good Lord.
It's weird. Who else has been saying follow the money? Although I will admit that at the beginning of this, I thought maybe it's about more than money, but maybe it all does just come down to money. Maybe it just comes down to money. Isn't that something? When you really stop and think about it, if this whole fustercluck has just been a money grab, which I guess it's looking more and more like it is. But golly, how much does that like sink any hopes you have for the future of humanity?
Right.
It's just a giant money grab. And when you look at, and so these are Pfizer scientists. theoretically, now Pfizer will, of course, come out with a statement. Well, these were just these were like our junior apprentice scientists. All they did was, they just ran paper back and forth. They filled up the copy machine. That's all these guys did. They weren't really like working on stuff. So they really didn't have a true understanding. They were just, the one guy he mopped the floors at night and the other guy filled up the copier. But they're going to have a tough time.
Well, we don't know how they were being paid as scientists. We're just not sure about that.
They're senior scientists or whatever. And the thing is, you look at this, the ivermectin, not to be again confused with the new drug, ivermectin. Which is, so ivermectin is.
It doesn't matter. We're going to get shut down on the back of the county anyways. Might as well just say it.
We're just going to have a good time. There's been a huge demand, an increase in demand for ivermectin across the board, across the country, apparently. So they're now having trouble keeping up with the ivermectin supply. But this new pill from, is it Pfizer? It may be Merck and Pfizer. So what they're trying to do, they don't want you using, again, it really is disappointing. It's like the hydroxychloroquine thing. They don't want you using something that's already out there and proven.
Right, because there's no money in it.
Because, there's no money in it.
The patents run out,
And they couldn't, and again, they couldn't get the emergency use authorization through if there was already a therapeutic or some sort of a quote-unquote cure for COVID. If something already existed, they couldn't get the emergency use, so they had to deny that any of this stuff worked, even though it's been working. And then the horse paste, the same stuff. That's the part that gets me too. It's the same stuff that they were requiring these Afghan refugees to have had at least one dose of before allowing them in the country. So while they're telling Americans, you don't do it, you're going to grow horse ears and a tail, which actually kind of come in handy during mosquito season. You think about it, if you had a nice big hairy tail.
Yep.
I dated
flies. Wait. You dated Big Hairy Tail?
Old hairy tail.
Old hairy tail.
Couldn't decide if I dated her, if that was my nickname in high school. Old hairy tail. But yeah, I mean, just think of that. You got that swishy tail. You get.
I get you. I'm with you there.
Except when you get in the pool, and then you get out, and that thing's like just dragging ass.
Yeah,
that would be a pain in me. But so anyway,
always having to comb it and shit.
I know, that's just, and behind you too, and then for you, Ron, you sit on the toilet, and where's the tail go? Right in the water.
That's right. But I do have a blow dryer, so I'm good.
That's true, but you have to get somebody else to do it. Otherwise, I mean, you can't hold your hand behind you for that long.
No, the blow dryer in my bidet.
Oh, that's a good point.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
How long do you trim that thing way back? I mean, do you trim it all the way like 6 inches, or do you let it grow the full 3 feet?
Just above the water. You're welcome.
Check it. So, they're out there. You can't, don't take the horse paste. Although, again, you will, have fewer worms. But they're requiring the Afghan refugees to take it before they come into the country. Merck has a forthcoming prescription oral antiviral. It's called, Molnupiravir. It sounds like an Indian scientist. Molnupiravir. Molnupiravir. It's designed to replace ivermectin that they cannot make the big cash from. The FDA will soon give it emergency use authorization because of the emerging clarity that COVID vaccines did not work safely or effectively. If the vaccines work, why aren't the vaccines working? And then there's just so much. You want to talk about misinformation? There's the perfect example of misinformation, front page of CNN. We'll talk about here in just a second. But first, make sure you go to preparewithmojo50.com. We don't sell any of that ivermectin stuff
Acting.
We don't sell horse paste. We don't, none of that. We actually have food. Food. Come to where the food is at preparewithmojo50.com. You get your 4-week emergency food supply, and it's not just cardboardy stuff. This is actually good food. I mean, it is freeze-dried. Don't get me wrong. It's not like going to eat at a 5-star restaurant. But, you know, when it's when you are faced with the decision to, you know, go mow the grass and pour some, I don't know, pool water over that and eat it. Or the mac and cheese, maybe the traveler stew, the creamy stroganoff. Do you like a good creamy stroganoff? I do.
I'm not even answering that question.
Would you prefer a cheesy broccoli soup? Excuse me, cheesy broccoli?
Cheesy broccoli.
Cheesy broccoli? Perhaps the creamy Alfredo pasta. Who doesn't like Alfred's pasta? All I'm saying, just get yours today at preparewithmojo50.com. And it is, I'm telling you, the shortages that we are seeing, you ain't seen nothing yet, unfortunately, because it's going to continue on for the foreseeable future. Preparewithmojo50.com. All right, so there's and this is a heartbreaking story on the front page of CNN. And it is the headline, Virginia families trying to process how their healthy 10-year-old daughter died from COVID in 5 days. And it just...
She passed away at 4:46 p.m.
Hold on, hang on 1 second. I'm going to put this up on the screen so you can see. Because I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be hateful in any way, shape, or form. But I think you got to be honest. And I want you to see the parents, and I don't think that I'm exploiting them. They decided to do an interview with CNN, for crying out loud. So.
Sitting next to her bed as everybody's talking to me, and there was a school board meeting for my district, and one of my friends told me that while she...
All right, you can see the parents there, right?
Yes, I can.
How would you describe their physical appearance?
He's a little plump.
Mm-hmm.
They're
both a little plump.
Yeah,
I'm plump.
Oh,
I'm fat. I am fat. Technically, I am obese. Ron, I would guess you are technically obese.
Am I incorrect in that she's a black woman, he's a white guy?
I don't...
she was there. She was so enraged
I can't.
because there were people there that
she might be.
It's a little
She's
dark.
very light-skinned. If she is black, she's very light-skinned.
Okay.
I looked at her Facebook page. And
I guess not, maybe.
No, I think she could be. But here's I want to show you a picture of the little girl, and she's. I mean, this is a horrible, horrible story. But the bottom line is this. Let me see if I can find that picture. There we go. Here is a picture of the little girl, 10 years old.
She looks a little portly herself.
Yeah. And the bottom line is this. Obesity is a factor in COVID-19 mortality. It's just a fact. So when you see things like how did our little girl die from COVID, our healthy girl, she's not technically healthy. And the problem is obesity is a huge contributing factor in the mortality rate of those with COVID-19. There are, see this story from September 30. As obesity takes a greater toll in COVID deaths, health officials are quiet. The children with COVID-19 in Dr. Eugene Doherty's pediatric intensive care unit often have one thing in common: obesity. At least 9 out of 10 patients that we're seeing who are sick enough, especially to be in the ICUs throughout the state, obesity plays a part in this.
So is the story talking about her being obese as well? Okay.
No. And that's the sad part. I mean, we've all seen it. And again, I'm pointing fingers, yeah, but I'm fat myself. And I know how tough it is to lose weight. I get it. But let's not ignore reality when it's staring us straight in the face. This is a huge problem, which is why it was so ridiculous when they're giving out freaking Krispy Kreme donuts if you go and get the damn vaccine. I mean, if you stop and think about the irony in that, it's insane. So when you've got a poor 10-year-old girl like this who's just, I mean, my heart goes out to these people. But by the same token, you cannot say this is, a perfectly healthy girl who died in 5 days of COVID. Because that's not reality. It's not what it is. You have to look at it for what, and that's the problem with the mainstream media, is that they won't say things like that. They will say,
but will we ever know if obesity was a cause?
Well, all I can tell you is that this is this particular doctor, Eugene Doherty, says at least 9 out of 10 patients that we're seeing who are sick enough, especially to be in the ICU throughout the state, obesity plays a part in this. Doherty is with Novant Health's Children's Hospital in Charlotte. Since the start of the pandemic, there have been numerous studies worldwide showing the heightened dangers of COVID-19 that it poses to people who are overweight. The World Obesity Federation, for instance, has shown that death rates from COVID-19 have been 10 times higher in countries where more than half of the population is overweight. Some doctors and health experts questioning whether public health officials have done enough to convey that message, especially to younger people. And I would say they haven't. You just don't hear it because, remember, fat shaming. You can't fat shame people. If it's a question of health, yeah, you're saying, look, you're fat. I'm fat. I need to lose weight. You can't ignore what it would be like ignoring the fact that they had cancer or some other comorbidity. You can't just ignore it and say, she was healthy. Yeah. No, she wasn't healthy. And that's the problem. Donner says that particularly, this is Dr. Daniel Donner, a physician at the clinic. He says it's particularly important because the number of obese children he's seeing is increasing, with roughly 1 in 5 children 6 and older that comes to his practice having obesity. 1 in 5.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's processed food. I don't know if it's sugar. I don't know if it's parents who, are serving the wrong food. I don't know. What. It's probably a number of reasons, but that's one thing we all need to do. We all need to think about it. It's hard. Oh, boy, do I know it's hard. It is really hard to lose weight, and especially the older you get. This doctor says he believes it's due to stay-at-home orders that closed schools and kept children indoors. It's a lot. I think most of it's about what you put in. And sugar is my kryptonite. What's yours, Ron?
Sugar.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah.
Sugar is evil. Evil. It's just, we need the whole story. You can't, again, when you start removing important pieces of any story, you're never going to get to the real cause of a problem. Can't keep burying our head in the sand. But again, my heart goes out to this family because I can't even imagine what they're going through. Yeah. All right, Dan Andros is on his way, or not.
Free exchange of ideas. Mojo 50.
Clear up, goddamn.
Oh, sure you do.
Is this how reliable I am now that it's just, I'm going to be here or not?
Or not, whatever. It's just
or not.
No, Brad has this fecal touch. He
I
says
do.
every time he mentions a caller or a guest coming up soon.
I do.
They,
I have the
they
fecal
never
touch.
call. So
Then they're not in. Yeah.
I have the fecal touch. See, are you going to see family at Thanksgiving and Christmas this year? Have you checked with Fauci yet?
I'm too scared. I'm too scared. I don't feel safe until Fauci feels safe. I thought that's how everyone lived.
I think you're right.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
And more importantly, did you need to go to therapy after Facebook being down yesterday?
My theory on that is that it was You remember the movie Family Man with Nicolas Cage and Don Cheadle and Tia Leone, and he gets a glimpse of what life would have been like
Yeah.
if he had married Tia Leone, who wouldn't marry Tia Leone? But at least the character she played in that movie.
Well,
the character she played in that movie was super lovable.
Yes.
But he got a glimpse of a better life. I feel like that's what God gave us yesterday. Basically, he sent Don Cheadle to go as an angel into some server room somewhere and unplug everything. And we got a glimpse of what life could be like.
Of what life
Which is
could
weird
be
because we don't, if we just turned off the screens. I mean, I was just talking about this with a friend, that it's insane that we all stare at screens for a large portion of our day. If you would have told people in the 1700s, you know what?
Right.
In 200 years, everyone's going to stare at a screen.
Back in 10 seconds.
All right. Stand by. Hang on.
Some sense of normalcy. PrepareWithMojo50.com is the answer.
The Daily Mojo.
Yeah, JLB is right on this one. Talking about words earlier, moist and semen, urinate, and feces. Those are other words people have word aversion to, and then understandably so. You missed that. By the way, Dan Andros is here from FaithWire.com. We were talking about the aversion earlier on the program to certain words in the in our collective vocabulary, and moist was a big one. And then phlegm, vomit, diarrhea. It does have a lot to do with bodily function. That's why so many people have aversions to some words. And we're also very happy to see that you survived, Dan, the outage yesterday. You didn't find yourself rocking back and forth in the shower, hoping for Facebook to come back.
No, Mark's safe. No, I was actually hoping it wouldn't come back. To be honest with you.
What would we do, though? What would we do?
Right. It's like, do you remember Pookie from New Jack City? I mean, this is dating everyone here. I don't know if you all remember the classic Wesley Snipes film,
Sure.
New Jack City. But Pookie was the addict. We were all a bunch of Pookies yesterday, just sitting there. It's calling me, man. It's calling me.
I didn't know it was out. I did not know. I was working on stuff and had no idea.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, if I wasn't in media, I would absolutely 1,000% not be. Well, I will say this. For Twitter, definitely. If I wasn't in media, I would not be on it. I check Twitter just to see what's trending. Otherwise, I don't care. I have no use for it. I am certainly not one of these people that, this drives me nuts on Twitter. The whole, hey guys, what are your favorite things on Netflix right now? Does anyone really care what everyone thinks about Netflix? Are you really sifting through and going, wow, I really value Jim in Wisconsin's opinion on what he thinks on Netflix is great.
Jim in Wisconsin's a jerk. He always had bad suggestions.
It's engagement. I know. Jim, Jim's got good Netflix suggestions. Yeah, that's right.
It's just, I'm with you.
No, nobody cares. It's engagement. I want to start an account that just says like, hey guys, here's an interesting dilemma. Will you all comment in my comment box on it? Paper or plastic at the grocery store? Which one do you choose? I just don't know.
You know where that does work, because if on Twitter, if you're a hot babe, you can put out the dumbest tweets in the world, and people will respond to them. It is, I kid you not, it is amazing to watch that happen.
Right,
but I'm with you. I wouldn't be on social media at all if it wasn't for this business. Because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
I'm too lazy.
I just don't, I don't enjoy it. I really don't. It's useful for finding leads to stories, but it's not enjoyable. It's a horrible environment where, I didn't even look because, Ron DeSantis' wife was just diagnosed with breast cancer. She's 41 years old. Terrible news.
Yep.
And the first thing I thought was, my gosh, I can't look at this on Twitter. I can't do it because I already know what's there. I don't even have to look. I know it's there.
And it was
horrible. Guarantee you there are haters there.
Yep.
Saying good,
That's
exactly
like what. And take your ivermectin and your blah blah blah. See how that works. But that's exactly. It was one of the first things that I saw. I was like, these people have no soul. It is unbelievable how mean that they can get. Of course, people are. I was called a bad person yesterday, which I nearly had to go to therapy for that one. Almost.
It's insufferable. And then you start commenting. I swear it just elevates schmucks. And because what happens is, you get some schmuck who doesn't know anything about anything, and they're just sitting around doing whatever, and they comment. And so, of course, you've tweeted something, and now oh, wait a minute, there's someone who disagrees. I'm gonna get him. And and it's just, why? If you were walking down the street and some dumpy loser was like, "Hey man, Biden was great, you're an idiot," you wouldn't be like, "Excuse me, sir.
Right.
I got a few things about Biden for you."
Exactly.
You just go, and you'd move on. That's what you'd do.
It does make you wonder.
You wouldn't even say it. You just,
how many 13-year-olds living in their mom's basement are we actually arguing with on Twitter? That's
oh my gosh.
It's like the early days of chat rooms.
I will support a mandatory law. This is where I will get a little tyrannical here. Everyone needs to have their own identity 100% verified on these. No more egg accounts. I don't want Kevin Durant having a fake account going around. I want to know the actual people. I want to actually see. First of all, you just shouldn't respond to anyone who's got a fake, who's got a fake name, and they're like,
I do it anyway.
Progressive,
progressive
player
1, 2, 3,
or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
progressive 1, 2, 3. Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah, that's why I put myself out there.
It's not worth the time. It's not worth the time.
I can take the slings and arrows. I don't mind. It just doesn't. But again, it's for the business. I take it for the love of the business, for the love of this industry. For the love of everything that we have to do. I was at, what was that, yesterday or the day before? The big, in Texas, the big flea market in Canton, I think it is, Texas.
Yep.
And so there was a great big flag up there, and it said, "Jesus is my savior, Trump is my president." So I put that out there. I said, "Conversation starter," and it certainly was. It was.
Wow, dude.
It was excellent. So those are the kind of fun things to do with it. But earlier again in the program today, we figured out that in fact the Facebook outage and the whistleblower, this is all a contrived situation for more internet regulations. That's what this is all, which is going to be more money out of your pocket somehow. They'll figure out how to make more money get extracted from your wallet and limit more of the interweb. So, I mean, it's not a conspiracy if it's true, right?
Oh, well, I mean, look, progressives have made it very clear, just in the way they run their outlets with these algorithms, and I know that the algorithms allegedly are supposed to, and they probably were initially designed to just keep people on. I mean, if you watch The Social Dilemma, I think they do a good job of portraying the algorithm with the three guys as people. Like, they kind of show you what it's thinking. We got to keep them on. Right. That is the initial goal. But now the progressives have said, okay, so the initial goal is, look, they just need to keep you on at any cost. They don't really care. That's why you see things that's why conservatives are often the most engaged pages on the internet, on those Facebook pages. It's not that they're all trying to suppress all conservatives. It's because they want you to stay on there first and foremost. But then secondarily, progressives go, well, wait a minute. No, we've got this big responsibility now, and boy, we can't have misinformation out there. And so now they have to go in and now they're trying to manipulate further what you see. So they're kind of competing with themselves. They've created this monster, this algorithm that's this machine that grows by itself and intelligent learning. And it's very smart at, it does make suggestions that you're like, oh, I didn't know that was lurking in the back of my brain, I really, did want some flip flops today. I was thinking, I could get some flip flops today.
Your phone is totally spying on you. It's
totally. I'm convinced.
Whatever.
Well, I mean, how do you think Siri comes on when you just talk?
Right. Exactly.
It's listening. It's listening, waiting for you to say. It has to do. Just think, people. Just think. So yeah, I think I told you guys about my bike shorts. That one that one.
I'm not
I
sure.
definitely did not type that one in.
Hold on a second. I'm not sure that you, Ron, do you remember Dan
I
telling us
don't
about
remember bike shorts.
his
Yeah.
bike shorts? I'm not.
You don't remember
really-
the bike shorts?
I think I'd
No,
remember
they
bike
got the little
shorts.
padding in the crotch thing.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was trying to get some exercise, got a bike ride. So I was looking for some bike shorts, but I didn't ever look at it. This is the first time. I'm not a big biker. This is the first time I'd ever even thought of this. And so I told my wife, I said, hey, I should probably get some of those bike shorts. I took a ride the other day, 10 miles, and my butt hurts.
Yep.
So I'm going to get some of those bike shorts. Oh, good idea. Well, turn on the phone a little bit later, and there's the ad for the bike shorts.
I'm telling you,
I'm just, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
They're spying on me.
But it does make, you have to admit, it makes life a little easier, doesn't it?
I actually fight the urge because I'm a big Boston Celtics fan, and I'm a sucker for any old Bird story because he was a good trash talker, and there's a lot of funny old stories. And when there's a new one, I'm like, oh, is it new? I've seen like all of them now. Yeah. And so you'll just see they put it in my feed. It's just like, hey, the one time Larry Bird told Magic Johnson to go pound sand, and I'm like, I'm like, no. I'm like, they know, they're on to me. I'm not going to click it. Don't click it, Dan. And so what I'll actually do, and I don't know if this saves it, but what I'll do is I'll go open a separate window and I'll search for it.
Yeah, they never think about that. They never think about anybody opening up another window. That's brilliant.
But can they search that?
Of
Can
course
they
they
track that
can.
too?
They can track
'cause
everything
from
you do.
Facebook, From Facebook.
Sure.
They can't track my other if I open a separate browser.
Sure they can.
It's called cookies, Dan.
Sure they can.
Sure they can.
They can pretty much, they're probably watching you do it through your camera.
Mark Zuckerberg is probably sitting right behind me right now.
He probably is.
Yeah, that's the freaky thing. That's the price you pay.
He's got all these TV screens in his home office. He's watching everybody.
300 million
Yeah.
TV screens. He scrolls through them all the time. That's why he has that
It's
look on
like
his
a big
face.
Truman Show.
Uh-huh.
He's got a Truman Show times 300 million. He's just got it going.
Would it surprise you? Because it wouldn't me.
No. But to my original point about progressives, I really do believe that while they may have started this as just a business idea, like we got to keep people online, they absolutely feel that it's their duty to create a fair experience for people, and they think it's their job to manipulate what you see. I absolutely believe that, and I really do think with the election, with the Hunter Biden laptop story, I think what you saw were a gaggle of journalists and big tech that are all progressive liberal elites, and they felt they didn't do enough the first time to, quote, stop Trump.
Right.
So I think they said, damn the torpedoes. We are not leaving any stone unturned this time. How else can you justify nuking a story that is 100% true?
I know. That just, to me, watching that was just, again, I'm running out of words for how to describe how dystopian everything is. There's only so many ways you can describe the absurd, the crazy, the all of these things that are happening all around us, and it just, it's
well,
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm trying to mean to cut off your thought there.
you're
Yeah, I was going to say we've completely jumped the shark of reality, and we are I believe we're in a post-truth world now. $3.5 trillion is zero, guys. It's zero. It doesn't. Don't look. It's just zero. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah,
it's zero. And you have Kirsten Sinema. Kirsten Sinema is getting harassed in a bathroom. And now remember, this is the same liberal progressive elites who are talking about Me Too. When Donald Trump got too close to Hillary Clinton, he was assaulting her, in the debate.
Yep.
And all of that stuff. But now when you go into a bathroom and assault someone, or not assault, but when you harass someone, I saw the defense from Kirsten Powers was, well, if you don't want to get harassed in the bathroom, maybe you should just talk to him outside. Oh,
no, it's
how
illegal.
Wonderful to see how wonderful to see the, well, she shouldn't have worn that outfit logic.
Right.
Return.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's because people don't care. They don't care. They don't really care about any of this stuff. They just Just
Yeah.
say what you have to say.
Yeah.
At any given moment, the truth doesn't matter.
And then she got accosted in the airport, got accosted on
In
the
the
plane.
airport, yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm not a fan of Kirsten Sinema, but she is holding her mouth shut, and that is a good thing for her.
Until the right dollar amount emerges. And
Well, I'm telling you, in all of these videos, she doesn't say very much at all.
Which is wise.
Which is smart.
Very
It's a
smart.
way to
Yeah.
do it. And don't you love, guys, the way the mainstream media portrays these? We've got these grassroots real American heroes out here just so upset that Biden's Build Back Better agenda isn't going to pass because of Kirsten. Does anyone really believe that these are regular average Joes that are like, you know what? I'm really for Joe Biden's plan here, and this one's holding it up. I'm going to go make a statement.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, you have thousands of people across stadiums all across the country chanting,
Let's
Joe Biden.
go,
It's not even a
Brandon.
thing.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. It happened in New York just the other night, I guess over the weekend at the Jets MetLife Stadium in New York.
Sure did.
That's nothing. Nothing to see here. But hey, when we've got this real American regular citizen, definitely not an activist,
let's go, Brandon.
harassing Kirsten Sinema, we better get all over that, cover that, because
the whole thing is crazy.
That's what America needs. I mean, come on, it's a joke.
It's
Does
all
anyone believe
nuts.
this? Who believes this stuff? Who believes this? Who are you? I need to shake you. Shake the cobwebs out of your head.
It is really
it's
amazing
unbelievable.
what people do believe, and the thing is, I was just looking at this story over at faithwire.com. The headline: State revokes employees' religious exemptions in 11th hour, forcing them to choose between jobs and vaccination. And what we have going on throughout this country right now, again, we go back a year to the healthcare workers who were heroes, real American heroes, which reminds me of the Budweiser ad campaign.
Real American
heroes. And now they are pariahs, and they want to kill babies, and because they won't get the vaccine. And we're actually getting people fired because they will not take this drug. They won't get, and how can they? This is the part that gets me. How can they revoke the religious exemptions? That's the part that. I mean,
they're losing the. I think a few people. Andrew Wiggins, I believe, is his name, on the Golden State Warriors, tried the religious exemption and it failed. So they're not getting the religious exemption on there, and it does seem to be failing at times. I don't know that these things are going to hold up long term. I feel like for the left, it's a feel good sort of thing that they think they're doing the right thing. But I mean, maybe, I don't know. Like we said, we're living in a post-truth insane world. So maybe that ship won't get righted, but I don't know. It just seems like this sort of thing shouldn't hold up, that we should start seeing some lawsuits the other way. I mean, people getting fired over this stuff. It's just, really quite shocking.
This was this was the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife. These were and granted, it was a dozen employees. One of the workers, 20-year agency veteran, Brad Otto was his name. He was granted an exemption on September 20th. Then 9 days later, the state agency pulled back the accommodation because they changed their policy in the 11th hour and said, "No, sorry, we're not granting you the exemption." And they say, "Says I don't."
We're just kidding.
Yeah, we're just as a psych. And he's going to have to get it. We've received additional guidance, blah blah blah, and we're going to
it was such short notice, Brad, that he didn't even choice on which vaccination they get, because the time was so short. They could only take the Johnson & Johnson because it's a single dose.
Right.
So not only did they take the vaccine choice away from them, then they took which vaccine they could get. So if he wanted the mRNA one out of the two, then he wasn't getting it. He was getting the Johnson & Johnson one. So take the shot.
Which, from a logic standpoint, I think that would be the one to take, though, if you're going to be forced to take one, because that's the one that doesn't mess with your RNA, right?
The Johnson & Johnson?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh.
It's a single shot, so it's a different type of platform.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I
then-
can't say because I got Mark Zuckerberg sitting right behind me. So
Did you see the Project Veritas videos? The new ones with the Pfizer scientists?
Pfizer scientists
who
probably aren't
what
employed anymore.
happened?
Oh, they had a very bad day at work, I guarantee, because the videos
Oh,
came out
no.
last night. If you're looking to hire some new scientists, I think there's probably 3 who are available. But they all came out, and these scientists were saying, you've got probably better lingering immunity from having had COVID than from the vaccine. One of them,
and it's all the money.
yeah,
it's all
one of them said, "I feel like I work for an evil corporation. We're all, we're just running on COVID money now." It's like, ooh, this is not going to look good on a resume. but you're not seeing these. I mean, you won't see these interviews. Jack Posobiec just retweeted it. And he said, "I can't believe they haven't taken these down yet." Which you're right. They'll be gone from the interweb, soon. But how
on the old memory hole.
Yeah, it is. And the more this happens, the more it's just it dumbfounds me that we are at a place where and just like the next guy, I don't know what to do about it. I don't know, short of the nuclear option. I don't know what we do about it. I don't know how we fight back against it. I mean, even if the old, turn off your computer, don't watch TV, that doesn't mean they're going to, at this point, I want to watch TV to see when it is they've launched the troops to come at me. I want to get a little advanced warning, because at this point, is it not, the plan is already in place. I want to have, a little foreknowledge of exactly what's happening. I don't know what you do about the situation we're in now.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
prayer.
You guys ever see Tremors? You ever see the Kevin Bacon movie Tremors?
Oh yeah, classic.
Yeah. Remember the couple up on the hill? Remember the couple up on the hill there? The ones that lived at the top of the hill, and they kind of had the one came into their basement. Remember them?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. They were a little. They were prepared.
Okay.
So
all right, yeah.
I'm just saying. Just think Tremors. Just
You're
think
right. You're right.
Top of the hill and Tremors, and find a little spot out in the desert. I mean, hopefully we don't have giant earth monsters that go underneath the ground. But
did you ever see Tremors like 6?
I did not go down the Tremors sequel route.
It was let's see. Oh my gosh, there was a Tremors 6. It was subtitled "A Cold Day in Hell."
They made it to 6.
Yes, it's a 2018.
How many did Kevin Bacon do?
I think only the one, didn't he? Yeah,
he's smart.
It was
Kevin
a directive video in 2018 was Tremors 6. I'm telling you,
I got like a Tremors 2.
When you come up with a great idea, just keep doing it over and over and over. I don't know.
Tremors 2 Aftershocks. It does not look like Kevin Bacon got in there.
No,
maybe one of the monsters got him.
I think. Although after he and his wife Kira Sedgwick had money invested with Bernie Madoff, and they lost a decent chunk of money with the Madoff thing, and that's why you started seeing them doing orange juice commercials and just about anything else to make up for the lost revenue.
Yeah.
So, he may have done at another time. He may have done Tremors 4, but
he might have. But I think they're doing pretty well, though. I've seen a few videos of them online. He's a pretty good musician, I think.
Yeah, he has a band, doesn't he?
Apparently.
Yeah.
So they would just sing some acoustic songs there, and it was kind of fun.
I hate
talented
talented
fun. Him and
like
Kira.
that. I hate talent.
I hate it too. It's like, really, how many talents do you need?
I know. I can't play any instrument.
Really,
I can't play the
honestly.
guitar.
You act. You can act. I mean, can't Kevin Bacon dance too?
I think
Dancing,
so. Yeah,
singing,
that's
acting.
right. Footloose.
What? Just stop it.
All I can do is talk, and I don't even do that very well some days. So
yeah, me either.
Wow, this is kind of a depressing end to the conversation.
Thanks a lot, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, he's ruined it for the rest of us. All right, so if you need your daily dose of faith, please go to faithwire.com and there's one particular story on the front that I think I want to recommend. It is the 5 Bible verses to remember when you're overwhelmed by the news, because I think that should cover about 90% of the population.
There you go.
Because it will, this stuff will overwhelm you. All right, there he is at Dan Andros on the Twitter that he hates, and at faithwire.com. We'll finish the rest of the world's problems next week.
All right. See you guys. Have a great one.
Bye, Dan.
You too.
Bye.
We're in dystopia. Dystopia. See, Postal Pete just said the only solution short of violence is to elect hundreds of constitutionalists. The problem now is, do you have faith in the elections?
I don't know that I have faith in the elections, and I worry about the fact that we may never pull out of this without violence, and I hate that. Honest to God, I hate that.
I do too. I hate to say I've lost confidence in the election system in this country, but it's look at the evidence. Go to mypillow.com, and that's where you'll find the radio listener specials, and that's where you'll find it. In addition, if you go to FaithWire, you find the 5 Bible verses you need when you're overwhelmed. Then you curl up with your MyPillow in your My Bathrobe pill thing.
True.
Is it a MyPillow, My Bathrobe? It's just a My Bathrobe.
It's
just your bathrobe.
My Pillow
your
bathrobe.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very comfy. Every time I hug you when you were in that thing, it's
Thank you.
soft.
Yeah.
And then your MyPillow slippers, my slippers, and then you add, this is, of course, after you've gotten out of the shower with your MyPillow towel set. And then you can, go lay on your bed that has the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper while your faithful dog Rover lays down on the MyPillow dog bed next to your bed. You could really have the MyPillow life, couldn't you? You really could.
Good. Yeah.
You could have the MyPillow life, kind of like the salt life, beach life. You could have the MyPillow life. Go to mypillow.com, use the promo code Mojo50, and make your life more comfortable as we enter the apocalypse. That's mypillow.com, promo code Mojo50.
What do you mean it's last call?
Yes, I'm afraid it has gone by that quickly. It flies by whether or not you're having fun. That being the 2 hours known as the Daily Mojo for Tuesday. And today is, in fact, the 5th of October. It's James Bond Day, too. Official World James Bond Day, yes.
Oh.
Which I know something about the new James Bond movie. I'm not going to tell you. Major spoiler. I haven't seen it yet, but it's a major spoiler. I'll see if any of this here lessons stuck. Major, President-elect Jamie Jamie Chump, whatever the hell her name is, over in the Twitterverse. Got a natural immunity over vaccine. Eat better food. Biden is not my president. Trump won. Ever get the idea that if you live with Jamie, you would never win an argument?
Yes, possibly.
Crossed my mind. Dr. Mojo Martian, Tremors was good. Tremors 2 was not terrible. Then it got really bad. Next will be Fast and Tremorous on the moon. Remember what? Oh, it was Moonraker. Wasn't it the James Bond movie with the
where
space
they were
shuttle?
climbing the tower. Yeah.
Where just horrible. Oblivion flickering. Big headline. Big pharma scientists admit the vaccine is a money-making scam. A headline you will see nowhere.
Nowhere.
But we all know
Zero.
know it's true, and that's the thing. Tremors 7 is on Netflix, just released. What? James in Louisiana. Tremors 7 is really? How many ways can you kill your big worm? Asking for a friend.
Wow.
Yeah. Over in the Facebook chat room, Lisa says, don't they give out free Krispy Kreme donuts anyway if you go? And they give you free samples anyway. Now, free
they
beer.
used to. I'm not sure if they still do.
That's a good point. So you didn't, whether or not you got the vaccine, you still got a free Krispy Kreme. And there's nothing like the taste of a fresh Krispy Kreme donut right off that damn rack. It's hot, melts in your mouth, just all gooey.
It damn sure does.
We're all going to die eventually. Coming up next over most of these Mojo 50 radio stations, it is the encore presentation of Abnormal Realities with Ron and his little friend Rocky. And today's episode is?
Yeah, so last night we covered hairy burials and explained what the Greys are.
Everybody knows what the Greys are.
Hairy burial.
Hairy burial.
Nasty.
Was your nickname in high school. Your Daily Mojo is made possible by the thick, voluptuous fingers of Ron Phillips over there trying to get into your access portal. Spinning those dials radio style. Remember, the smallest minority on earth is, in fact, the individual. Those who deny individual rights cannot claim to be defenders of minorities. Sic semper tyrannis. Resist stupid, and good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are.
Oh, look, a bell count is in your future.
Clear?
How are your corpulent little fingers doing over there?
They are fine.
You like
Corpulent.
it? Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of pudgy. And, which one are we doing here? Hang on, are we doing that? Sure, I think that's what we're doing.
Good morning, Mojo 50. I'm Leprechaun, and here with the bell count for the Daily Mojo of Tuesday, October 5th, 2021. Today there were 3 missed innuendo bells for yanking by hand, yank the bad boy, and putting it in. 8 actual bells, and a pair of oh my gushes. Peace out, boys. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
He was worried about me yesterday, too. And everybody...
Yeah.
Everybody's worried about me.
I got several messages yesterday. Yeah.
My bad. I won't do that again. I probably will, but I'll try not to.
Inculcate. Inculcate.
Is that what you do with your porculate little fingers?
Inculcate.
Inculcate. There's no idea. I have no idea.
You know what you called her?
Inculcate.
It's a verb.
Okay.
To implant by repeated statement or admonition, teach persistently and earnestly. That's what they're doing with the vaccine.
Inculcate.
So
They're inculcating you?
So next
Sounds
time
like
you hear that.
Sounds like a moist word.
Yes. Don't do that on my panties. Well, I don't know why that's just a weird word to me, but that's the end of that one. And that's where I have to say.
That is a wrap.